Show me your hands. Do it now. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Don't you move.
Maybe, listen, you're going to have to get up there because we're going to have to physically put you up there if not. And that's not as nice. So please help us help you.
Officers in Knoxville, Tennessee, roll up to deal with a woman, Lisa Edwards, who's just not in the mood to leave the Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center after being discharged. They find her at the hospital, where she claims she's been roughed up and just can't muster the strength to leave. Despite her protests, the officers insist she clears out or faces arrest for loitering.
Just before 8 o'clock in the morning on February 5th, officers in Knoxville, Tennessee got a call about a woman who refused to leave the Fort Sanders Regional Medical Center, even though she'd already been released from treatment.
They asked you to leave, didn't they? Did the hospital ask you to leave? No, they said they want you to leave. Yeah. You gotta leave though, they want you gone.
It's hard to believe what's happening right now. An officer coolly tells Edwards that jail isn't on the agenda today, but she really needs to scoot off the hospital property. Edwards argues she's been mistreated and physically can't leave, but the officers aren't buying what she's selling. They keep pressing her to hit the road, even though she insists she's been medically ditched too soon.
The officer repeatedly tells Edwards there's no need for her to go to jail, but that she must leave hospital property.
Well, I can't even get out of here.
You're gonna have to figure something out, because ain't no need for you to go to jail over some nonsense, but you gotta leave.
Edwards says she was mistreated by hospital staff and cannot physically leave.
Well, who beat you up?
Security guards in there.
Things take a turn for the serious here. The officers chew over the situation and decide to slap Edwards with a trespassing charge since she camped out in the lobby without making a call or attempting to leave. They start prepping her for a ride to jail, but she struggles to get into the cop car, claiming injuries are holding her back. Despite her clear distress, the officers don't ease up on their efforts.
Eventually, officers decide Edwards will be taken into custody on a trespassing charge.
You sat in the lobby for 30 minutes and you had your phone and you put it back down. You did not use the phone. You did not even attempt to use the phone to make a phone call.
Don't do me this way.
You're the one that told us to call the police.
I'm not a bad
We
girl.
tried alternatives. We tried to find a peaceful resolution. You're the one that wanted us to call the
If
police.
I never go to jail.
You've got to see this to believe it. Officers keep reminding Edwards she's been given the all-clear medically and need her to hop into the transport vehicle by herself. They caution her that, if she doesn't cooperate, they'll have to hoist her in less gently. Throughout, Edwards groans about severe discomfort and a lack of mobility.
Maybe, listen, you're going to have to get up there because we're going to have to physically put you up there if not. And that's not as nice. So please help us help you. You've been medically cleared, so let's get in. Look, stop. Okay, it's not working. Okay, just stop. Okay? We're not doing this. So we're going to put you back there. We're not doing this no more with you. So quit. You've been medically cleared, so we know better.
Officers also refuse to take Edwards to a different medical facility.
This part is a real facepalm moment. As they try to help her into the vehicle, Edwards takes a tumble. The officers' patience wears thin as they scold her for not following their directions, all while continuing to assert she's medically okay to move.
At one point, Edwards falls over during the interaction.
Turn around.
Oh my God.
Walk.
Oh my God.
Now.
I can't.
Yes, you can, or I'm going to put you in there. Now get in there. Don't reach on my head.
Let me in.
Get in the daggone wagon.
Okay.
Oh boy. It's ramping up again. As the officers work to get Edwards settled in the vehicle, she keeps saying she can't breathe and asks for her inhaler. The officers downplay her concerns, suggesting she's just putting on a show and accuse her of acting. They manhandle her into the vehicle, ignoring her continued pleas for help.
She's not helping you a bit.
Well, you're about to get some, you know what's about to happen? You're about to get some more charges. That's what's about to happen.
Okay.
Sit back.
Just try to get her back that way.
You can't stuff her in there, Brandon. That ain't gonna work.
I can't breathe out.
Yeah, I can't. Take her
Things get even more heated. Once shoved inside the squad car, Edwards continues to complain about her breathing issues, audible wheezing included. The officers dismiss her claims, suggesting if she can chat and smoke, she can breathe just fine. The tension in the car builds as Edwards' condition visibly worsens.
Edwards then asks for an inhaler, saying she cannot breathe.
Oh my gosh. Get a stretcher.
Get a stretcher.
Yeah, a stretcher. I can't breathe. I need to get my inhaler.
You've used your inhaler 3 times. If anybody is letting you die, it's yourself because you aren't using it the correct way. It's all on camera right here where you use that inhaler and blowing it out.
Here's where everything flips on its head. Officer D'Estasio discovers Edwards unresponsive in the back of the squad car during a stop for another matter. At first, he's not sure if she's faking, but quickly realizes the gravity of the situation and calls for backup. This marks a critical failure in handling the case, sparking major scrutiny.
At one point, Officer D'Estasio stops the squad for an unrelated traffic stop. It's then that he finds Edwards unresponsive.
I don't know, she's not responding back here now. Hey! Hey, come on, sit up.
Can you advise what for?
Female unconscious.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's faking it or what, but she's not answering me.
The fallout is as messy as the incident. After reviewing the videos, the Knoxville police chief admits he's disturbed and embarrassed by the whole debacle. A review slams the officers for either missing or outright ignoring Edwards' health issues. Though they're put on paid leave, no criminal charges come their way, and the official cause of Edwards' death is listed as a stroke.
The Knoxville police chief has since said he was, quote, disturbed and embarrassed after watching the videos. A formal review found the officers involved either inadequately addressed Edwards' health concerns or blatantly ignored them. According to the Knox County District Attorney's Office, Edwards' official cause of death was a stroke. None of the officers involved will face criminal charges, but all 4 were placed on paid administrative leave after the incident, so none of them will lose their jobs.
Seriously, who makes this mistake? Police accidentally rock up to the wrong address following an emergency call. They are chilling outside the home of 52-year-old Robert Dodson in Farmington, New Mexico, thinking they're about to deal with a domestic violence situation.
Hey, hands up!
Disturbing body camera video shows police shoot and kill a New Mexico man after responding to the wrong address from an emergency call. Law and Crime Network first brought you this story last week when news broke that 52-year-old Robert Dodson was shot and killed by police in Farmington, New Mexico. At the time, the department's chief released a video statement calling the incident a traumatic event.
But just in general, for us, this is a very dark day for Farmington PD, for our community, for the Dodson family.
Talk about a knock-knock joke gone wrong. Officers bang on Dodson's front door and yell out their presence like they're announcing a giveaway. Despite their loud calls for anyone inside to show themselves, the house stays silent as a secret.
When officers replied to a domestic violence call, body camera video shows them approaching Dodson's front door and knocking.
Police department.
Officers announce themselves multiple times and call for anyone inside to come out.
Ever get that oops feeling? That's what hits the officers when they check with dispatch and start laughing off their goof about being at the wrong house. They slowly switch from giggles to oh no as they confirm they definitely got the address mixed up.
Hey, firm, if you can call the RP back and have him come to the door.
Farmington, please.
It's then that officers realize they may have the wrong address. They can then be heard laughing on the video.
Is it 43 or 5308? Yeah. Is this not 5308? That's what it said right there, right?
No, it's 5305, isn't it?
Things are about to get spicy. Robert Dodson decides it's showtime and flings open the front door, only to be met with gunfire almost instantly. The officers stagger back, spouting off about shots fired while making sure everyone's in one piece.
Moments later, Dodson approaches the front door. That's when shots ring out.
Oh.
Hey, hands up!
Body camera video shows officers report the shots fired as they back away from the home.
Fired, shots fired! Yeah, you good? You good?
Yeah,
back
good.
up, back up, back up. Check yourself, check yourself.
I'm good.
We're 10-4. We're going to back up a little bit.
Brace yourself, here comes the chaos. Right after the first shootout, the officers spot someone down at the door. More bangs go off as Kimberly Jones Dodson, Robert's wife, steps up.
When officers note someone is down at the front door, more shots are fired when Dodson's wife, Kimberly Jones Dodson, approaches.
40108, we have one down at the doorway. Hey, I got you covered. Move. Let's move out. Hands up!
You'll want to turn up the volume for this. The officers later explained they thought they heard the classic click of a gun being cocked inside the house. Believing they were about to be under fire, they engaged when Mr. Dodson showed up armed at the door.
Come out with your hands up, open, and empty!
Later on, an officer says he heard Dodson cock his gun as officers approached the front door. Officials say after that, Dodson's wife fired at officers before she realized they were police.
We're knocking on the door, no one's coming out. I hear a metallic, like a gun cocking. Me, Dylan, and Estrada back up. The dude comes to the door, points the firearm at us, and then we get in a gunfight. And then female comes out of the house.
After the dust settles, the officers go inside to check on the kids upstairs. They find 3 kids, thankfully okay, amidst the chaos. They then sadly confirm Mr. Dodson didn't survive the ordeal.
Body camera video then shows officers enter the home to speak with the children upstairs.
3 kids upstairs.
3 kids upstairs.
Yeah.
3 kids upstairs. 3 kids upstairs.
Dodson was pronounced dead at the scene.
Mr. Dodson was not the subject of the call that our officers were responding to, and this ending is just unbelievably tragic. I'm extremely sorry that we are in this position.
Right now, the officers involved in the shooting are on paid administrative leave. Their names have not yet been publicly released. The Dodson family attorney tells Law and Crime Network a press conference about the shooting is scheduled for this week. Right now, the shooting is still under investigation by the New Mexico State Police.
Can you believe what just went down? The judge casually starts off by addressing the potential juror, double-checking her summons for jury duty on the epic date of March 17, and then springing the news of her needed appearance in court on April 3rd due to some alleged sneaky behavior. The juror nods along, confirming she got the heads up about possibly facing contempt for turning a courtroom scene into a mini-movie festival by live-streaming the jury selection.
All right, juror 1004, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Madam, just to recap, you were summoned as a juror on the 17th of March of this year to begin the jury selection process. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Because of conduct that occurred or alleged conduct that occurred on the 17th of March, you were served with a order to show cause. That was filed on the 20th of March of this year to appear on this date, the 3rd of April at 10 o'clock in courtroom 1C. You received a copy of that notice, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that notice also gave you sufficient notice that as to why you should not be held in willful contempt for violating the court's admonitions against improper jury behavior, specifically live streaming the jury selection process on Friday, March the 17th.
Seriously, who saw that coming? The judge, sounding more like a disappointed parent, hammers in questions about whether the juror remembered being told to eliminate her phone and avoid any antics that could throw the trial into a daytime drama spin-off. She admits to hearing bits about phone etiquette and the social media no-go zone, but blames the buzzing court crowd for any auditory lapses.
That day on the 17th of March.
Okay, but before then, do you recall this court giving you the ad nauseum admonitions about acceptable behavior?
About having phones out?
Yes.
At the moment when we came in.
Didn't I tell you to turn your phone off?
It was, I'm going to be truthfully and very honest. When it was a lot going on, we had just come from different
Answer
floors.
my question first, and then you can explain it. Do you recall us telling you to turn off your cell phones?
Yes, sir.
Did she really just admit that? In a twist worthy of a sitcom, the juror spills the beans. She filmed during the judge's monologue, but hit delete faster than a sneeze after a fellow juror whispered they weren't in a cinema. However, the court's tech squad retrieved the clip from her digital trash bin, leading to more eyebrow raises and head shakes.
But you were, in fact, told to, 1, put away your phones, and 2, that you could not otherwise, you do remember, you couldn't otherwise post, pin, tweet, or otherwise.
And I didn't.
Send anything to social media.
Correct, I didn't.
But you did live stream our proceedings, didn't you?
It wasn't live streamed at all.
So what exactly did you do then?
Okay, so when you was giving the speech, everybody was talking. I did take a video, and then the young lady next to me, she was like, "Ma'am, we're not supposed to be recording." Soon as they said that, I deleted everything right then and there. Maybe an hour went by. That's when the officer came up to me and said, somebody had told us that you may be recording. So I showed them the phone. They went through my recent deleted photos and seen the video that I made, but it was already deleted because the young lady next to me had told me that you did say we wasn't supposed to be doing any of that. And this is my first time. That was my first time ever being in court in my whole entire life. So I wasn't really sure of anything we couldn't and could not do. So I do apologize for that.
With the air of a quiz show host revealing the final question, the judge outlines the penalties for courtroom tomfoolery, opting not to fine her but instead giving her a 3-day tour of the local jail. He stresses the importance of listening to court rules, as if explaining the offside rule to a soccer newbie.
I'm gonna, contempt is punishable by a fine of $1,000 and or 20 days in jail. Madam, I think that given the amount of time and energy and effort and care we spent in making that particular pronouncement, and I tell it multiple times for multiple reasons, and you decide you're going to just do what you wanted to do.
It's not
pull out your phone
doing what I wanted to do.
Well, you pulled out your phone and videotaped our proceedings, and that was in direct violation of this court's order. So I'm going to sentence you to 3 days of in jail, and that will otherwise satisfy your contempt. So
it's not going to be the payment? I thought you said.
No, I'm not going to fine you $1,000 because this court, I've given this same admonition a number of times, and there are varying reasons that we punish people in society. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the reasons are: one, just general is retribution, eye for an eye.
The judge goes full lecture mode, citing all the reasons the juror's movie director debut in his courtroom was a blockbuster no-no. He emphasizes the fine line between a court order and a suggestion, as if explaining why you shouldn't text in a movie theater.
Unfortunately, I have told several people and made several iterations of this particular notice, and you videotaped our proceedings. It was just a brazen violation of these particular proceedings. I told you not to. You just left your purse in your pocket. Madam, that does not excuse your behavior, and it doesn't provide it's an excuse for behavior, because there is no reason you couldn't have taken your phone and put it in your purse when we told you to do that, right?
Correct.
Instead, you took your purse out. You had to go through several manipulations to turn on the video feature for you to go ahead and videotape these proceedings. Is that right? It just didn't come on by itself, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's willful. That's you like saying to me, Judge, I don't care what you said about this kind of behavior. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So for that reason, that's why I'm gonna hold you in contempt for 3 days, and that will otherwise satisfy your contempt.
At the 6-second mark, the video kicks off with an Ohio man, infamous for his murderous intent, taking the lead in a high-speed police chase. This chap rockets through the streets like a bat out of hell, completely disregarding speed limits and safety. It's like watching a live-action car chase scene, but with higher stakes and real adrenaline.
An Ohio man wanted for murder leads police on a high-speed chase that ends in a crash after he drove through city streets at more than 100 miles per hour.
Wreck out, wreck out, wreck out!
We learn that our lead foot driver, 57-year-old William Jerry Hefner, allegedly decided to play a real-life bad guy by shooting 48-year-old Matthew Smith in Dayton, Ohio. Apparently, after a heated exchange, Hefner didn't just storm off, he blasted off in his getaway car. Witnesses could only watch as he sped away, turning the streets into his personal escape route.
On June 1st, investigators say 57-year-old William Jerry Hefner shot and killed 48-year-old Matthew Smith in Dayton, Ohio. They confirmed with witnesses that Hefner fled the scene, driving off in a red pickup truck. Days later, on June 7th, Dayton police spotted Hefner's truck.
340 dispatch, Anna and West 2nd, continuing north on Anna, JNF 7481, red Ford F-150. Anybody near me?
Just when you think it can't get crazier, it does. We see the dash cam come alive as one brave officer flips on his sirens and sets off after Hefner, who clearly has no intentions of slowing his roll. Ignoring the siren's wail, Hefner keeps the pedal to the metal, weaving a path of mayhem. It's a game of cat and mouse, but with cars and a lot more swearing.
Dash camera video shows an officer turn on his sirens and follow Hefner, who refuses to slow down or pull over.
Come on, come on! Still westbound Oak Ridge. I don't see anybody behind me.
In a move straight out of a Hollywood stunt show, Hefner veers off the road and onto someone's front lawn, leaving a new definition of lawn damage. This guy's evasive moves could give stunt drivers a run for their money, as he barely misses garden gnomes and lawn chairs. The pursuing officer calls for backup, probably thinking this was way above his pay grade.
The officer leading the chase can be heard calling for backup before Hefner is seen driving through someone's lawn in an effort to escape.
He's bailing out. Oak Ridge Tyson. He's continuing, going northbound on Tyson.
About 6 minutes into the chase, a second cop car can be seen approaching right on Hefner's tail.
Come up, come up, come up.
The chase hits its peak when Hefner decides to make an impromptu pit stop right into a pole. The crash is as loud and messy as a cafeteria food fight, but with more sirens and less spaghetti. This spectacular smash marks the turning point of our wild ride, leading to Hefner's capture.
Dash camera video then captures a sudden turn by Hefner, who crashes his truck.
Wreck out, wreck out, wreck out!
Talk about a wild ending to a wild chase. Right after the crash, officers swarm the scene like bees to honey. They yank Hefner out of his crumpled ride faster than you can say freeze. It's a frenzy of badges and handcuffs, and Hefner's looking like he regrets a couple of his life choices.
Following the crash, multiple officers rush out of their squad cars headed for Hefner. Nearly immediately, they pull him from the crashed truck.
Show me your hands! Do it now! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Don't you move! Hang on, get him on the other side. Get him on the other side. Pull him out!
Hefner, looking like he's been through a blender, is handcuffed and given a stern take it easy, buddy by the officers. They make sure he's secure, probably reminding him that next time, a simple speeding ticket would be easier. As they pat him down, keep watching, because the wrap-up is full of those little awkward moments that make it all seem surreal.
Video then shows officers handcuff Hefner, who is bloody from the crash.
All right, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
Okay, man.
We're good now.
Yeah.
Get a good search on him. Good work, people.
And away we go. Hefner is gently, well, as gently as one can in such circumstances, placed in the back of a squad car. The officers help him fold into the car like it's a game of Tetris, making sure he fits just right. This marks the end of his short-lived freedom and starts his journey through the justice system.
Hefner is placed in the back of a squad car.
On your feet, bend your knees up. Bend your knees up. Sit. Get your legs underneath you. Watch your elbow. Watch his elbow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Where's your car? Where's his car we're going to? Get in the car on the main road. All right.
Curtain call for our renegaded driver. The video wraps up with a rundown of Hefner's charges, including a couple of elimination counts that are sure to make his next court appearance quite to the event. From the high-speed thrills to the courtroom bills, this chase had it all. And just like that, our wild ride through Dayton comes to a close, leaving us all a bit more cautious at every intersection.
Fire and medics around, right? Oh. All right, just have a seat there.
Oh, my head.
Hefner was later indicted by a grand jury on multiple counts, including 2 counts of murder and 3 counts of felonious assault. He's set to appear in court on Tuesday.
We're diving right into the thick of it with a bombshell opening about Orlando Brown. The video opens with news coverage detailing the arrest of Orlando Brown, a former Disney Channel star, for allegedly attacking a man with a hammer and a knife. This incident occurred in Lima, Ohio, late last year, drawing considerable media attention due to Brown's celebrity status.
We're now getting a closer look at the arrest of former Disney Channel star Orlando Brown, who was taken into custody late last year after allegedly running at a man with a hammer and knife blade.
I don't want to go there, but he just had a knife and a hammer.
Okay, what did he do towards you? I mean, how
he came in aggressive mode and was like, "Hey, no, I'm gonna."
And he was coming towards you.
He was thrusting it, forward thrust, and all of that.
Just when you thought your family reunions were dramatic, here's Matthew Sanders spilling the beans. Involved in the altercation, Sanders explains to the police that he was in business with Brown and had even offered him a place to stay to prevent him from becoming homeless. Sanders describes his relationship with Brown, noting Brown's previous fame as an actor and his current dire circumstances.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Speaking to police, Sanders explains he's in business with Brown, who he describes as a former child star.
What's your relationship to him?
We were in business. Like I said, he's an actor. I'm shooting a movie.
What's his first name?
Orlando Brown. You ever seen Major Payne?
Yeah.
That's him, the little kid.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Like that's a Raven. That's him too.
What?
Sanders says Brown was facing life in a homeless shelter, so he took the actor in.
It's a long backstory, but like I said, he was going to be homeless. I was like, well, no, don't be homeless, bro. Here, I got a house and I'm renovating. Stay here until then, till you figure it out.
Sanders recounts how Brown went full-action hero mode on him. A critical moment unfolds as Sanders tells the police that Brown attacked him with a knife and a hammer. He demonstrates how Brown was aggressive and even mimics the threatening gestures Brown made. This description underscores the severity of the situation and Brown's aggressive behavior.
But Sanders said he needed police assistance after Brown allegedly came after him with a hammer and a knife blade.
Pulling the knife and the hammer out. Well, what does that do?
If he pulled a knife and hammer on you, you could be charged with domestic violence.
Okay. Well, if that's the route I gotta go, I don't want to go there, but he just had a knife and a hammer.
Okay, what did he do towards you? I mean, how
he came in aggressive mode and was like, "Hey, no, I'm about to."
Sanders hits his breaking point, expressing his frustration to the police. Sanders explains that Brown has overstayed his welcome and has become a threat in his home. Despite his desire to have Brown removed immediately, he is informed about the legal complications involved, including tenant laws that protect even non-paying occupants like Brown.
He doesn't live here. I let him stay here because he went to a homeless shelter about a month ago. I thought I can help him. There's no way I can. I was trying to get him back on Dr. Phil. He's got to go. I can't do nothing.
How long has he been staying here?
He doesn't have no mail coming here. I've already talked to my lawyer. None of that. He's been staying here for a little while.
Okay. Well, it gives us I know you've been talking to your lawyer, but they're not going to let us just boot him out.
He's already pulled a hammer out on me. He's pulled a knife out on me.
Just today?
Yeah, right now.
You want to file charges on him?
No, I don't want to file charges on him, but he can't be here no more.
Okay.
Sanders lays out his game plan, discussing with the police the steps he plans to take, including pursuing an emergency eviction through civil courts. Sanders explains the urgency of the situation, fearing for his property's safety and his well-being if Brown continues to stay at his home.
So I'll go up to Lime Municipal Court
what I'm saying
immediately.
Is he's going to destroy my house if he stays in here.
Okay. But we can't force him out.
Well, then, okay.
So
we'll leave it like that then. Okay.
So I'll go up to the civil courts, get the ball rolling.
He doesn't have a key or anything either.
I understand.
Okay.
It's just a strict law in Ohio. We'd be breaking the law if we said, "Hey, man, you got to go." So there's a way to do it. You just got to go up to the civil courts, Lime Municipal Court, second floor. Okay, I'll go up there immediately. You might be able to get emergency eviction. They can explain all that stuff to him.
As Brown gets carted off, he's having a heart-to-heart with the cops. As Brown is being transported to jail, he engages in a conversation with Officer Mark Link, expressing his gratitude towards the police for intervening. Brown's demeanor here contrasts with his earlier aggression, showing a moment of reflection and relief.
Hey, that's what's up. Appreciate it.
All right, man, go ahead and slide right
All
there.
right, thank you.
And we'll get you up there, okay?
Okay.
While being transported to the Allen County Jail, Brown can be heard speaking to Officer Mark Link.
Oh, I'm doing okay, man. You?
Oh, I'm straight. Y'all saved my life. Y'all got what y'all need. Out of here. That man been on my wife.
As we near the grand finale, Officer Link spells out the nitty-gritty legal details, outlining the legal proceedings that will follow. Link explains to Brown that the charges and potential release will depend on whether Sanders decides to press charges. This provides insight into the immediate consequences Brown faces and the legal process involved in such domestic violence cases.
And he will have the opportunity to go tomorrow to file charges against you. If he doesn't go, you'll be released tomorrow about 10 a.m. If he does file charges against you, you'll have a hearing tomorrow at 2 o'clock, a bond hearing with the judge, okay?
Okay.
So it all depends on if he wants to file charges or not.
Oh, well, I hope you file charges.
Body camera video also captures Sanders telling first responders he didn't want to press charges, but just wants Brown to get help.
Last but not least, we wrap this wild story up with a tidy bow, or maybe not so tidy. The video concludes with a news reporter summarizing the case, noting that Brown was initially charged with aggravated menacing but later pleaded guilty to lesser charges. This wrap-up provides closure on the legal outcomes and highlights the judicial decisions made in Brown's case.
All right. That's all I need for now. Like I said, tomorrow we'll have to file the charges. And like I was trying to say earlier, just because filing charges doesn't mean you're putting him in jail, but it can also give him court-mandated treatment. And in the end, that's what we want him to be a better person.
No, that's
right?
the goal. That's why I really thought I can help him, man, but it's out of my control. I can't.
Brown was originally charged with aggravated menacing, but that was later downgraded to criminal damaging and endangering. He eventually pleaded guilty to that charge and was fined $50 plus court fees.
As the video kicks off, the individual, clearly miffed, is escorted into the courtroom. He's baffled about why he's there, just rambling about his beach day gone wrong, despite allegedly violating a restraining order. This sets the stage for his feisty demeanor throughout the episode.
What's up, officer? So he was at the beach or something. What did he get brought in for?
Violation of restraining order and drunken public.
And these guys want to have nothing better to do but spoil my fun.
So you have a restraining order for somewhere at the beach?
It's a joke, man. You guys are trying to intervene in every part of my life.
Talk about a quick turnaround, just out of the clink, and bam, back in again. The guy's totally flustered, scratching his head over the justice system's fast-paced back and forth. His annoyance is palpable as he tries to piece together why he's caught up in this mess again.
He told us he was released last night from custody.
No, you guys let me out. That's your system.
Right over here.
You guys are man,
Sure.
if I've ever seen one.
What's up? Derek, you want to go home, right? That's what
It happens daily.
Did that really just happen? Standing defiantly before the camera, our beach-loving protagonist addresses an imaginary audience, maybe thinking the whole world's watching this courtroom circus. He mocks the absurdity of his situation, clearly not on the same page with the legal stakes.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm on the beach trying to have a good time.
Look at the cameras.
Call nobody. Who am I gonna call you, Mom? I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
Derek.
What do you want to do? Let's do this. Let's do this.
Here's where it gets official, folks. The court lays down the law, pinpointing his current pickle to a restraining order violation. This serious legal moment underscores just how deep in the sand our beach boy is buried, despite his nonchalant attitude.
No, he's here for a violation of restraining order. Yeah, we're just gonna take him over. Derek, you need to calm down.
Stop wrenching on my wrist. Break my wrist.
Due to his less than chill behavior, the powers that be decide it's spit sock time and off to the sobering cell he goes. The escalation here is real, folks, as safety gears up a notch.
We're gonna put a spit sock on him right now. We're gonna take him up for a sobering cell placement.
This is intense, guys. Really intense. That's what it takes. Speed.
Pick your head up, dude. Slam your head down.
Ordered to stay put on the ground, our main guy is learning about loss of freedom the hard way, showcasing the courtroom's tight grip. The scene is set for even more eyebrow-raising moments.
Derek, you're gonna stay on the ground until you hear the door close. Stay like this until you hear the door close. Sir, we'll call it 926, force used. I took it as a sign he was gonna try to assault or fight him in some way, so we just decided it'd be easier if we put him on the ground.
Ever wonder what it's like behind the bars? A seasoned jail officer gives us the lowdown on the daily unpredictability and the different personalities they wrangle every night. It's a wild ride for sure, and this pro knows how to keep things lively.
And I like dealing with different people, different situations every night, making sure that you know what you're doing and so you always have to be watching and being careful of what's going on.
Here's a curve you didn't see coming. The arrival of a new detainee throws the staff for a loop with a gender identification head-scratcher. This subplot brings to light the complex issues of gender identity in the justice system, sparking a mix of confusion and concern.
I have to take the gentleman or lady back there, find out what we're dealing with.
Male 100%.
Things get personal, and a tad awkward as officers proceed with a strip search to sort out the gender confusion. This sensitive moment digs deep into the invasive aspects of judicial processes, with privacy and ethics on the front line.
Go in the corner.
In the system, it says male, so I have to do a strip search.
I've had a sex change.
So you're completely a female.
She's in the part of the strip search now where she's now completely naked, so looks like it probably is a girl. She stayed back there.
This DUI story is a doozy. Shifting focus, another detainee spills the beans about her bizarre arrest scenario, shedding light on the seemingly random nature of DUI stops. This segment paints a vivid picture of the individual's trials and tribulations, beyond just the legal labels.
Is this DUI number 2, number 3?
Yeah, I was just sitting in the parking lot, not even driving, and the officer just passed by me and flashed his light. And I had an open container, and so he made me do the whole test and all that stuff, and I pretty much passed the visual, and he made me blow into the breath.
The breathalyzer.
Yeah.
All right, come on up here, and we're going to have you sign for your paperwork.
Okay.